Well, hi everyone, we're here at the New Marketing Summit, and I'm very happy to be joined by Adam Broitman, and I'm going to let Adam give his background and talk a little bit about his company.
Sure, so I'm Adam Broitman, and I work for Crayon. We are a strategic marketing consultancy, and we help brands activate consumers through conversational and new marketing.
Okay, so how do you define new marketing?
How do I define new marketing? Anything that happened after yesterday. No, I'm just kidding. I would say that the term new marketing is kind of nebulous and hard to define, and I know that is what we're all here for talking about. I think that there are certain tenets behind the phrase new marketing, certain core fundamental tenets that are the driving force behind what we're referring to as new marketing, such as the shift from push to pull. That's certainly an obvious one. The push from talking at versus talking with. And I think a lot of these ideals are not necessarily new anymore, but we're beginning to see them actually play out in the mainstream, and we're beginning to see brands actually act in this way. So we've been talking about it for years and years, but we're starting to see brands acting this way, which is great for a company like Crayon, who is always working at getting brands to not just do it, but do it well.
Absolutely. So what do you think the biggest challenge is for companies that are, and I don't want to use the word new marketing, but are taking on and doing some more of the newer marketing type of tactics? What's the biggest challenge for them as they embark on these things?
Well, I would say the obvious answer, and I'm going to say it because I do believe it.
That's fine. No, we like obvious. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious, you can't go wrong. The obvious answer in what everyone is saying is letting go. And I am probably the 10th person that you've spoken to that said letting go, and I wish I had something else groundbreaking at this moment, but that is a fact of the matter. Is you have people who have been in marketing for 20, 30 years. I think it's not even just letting go, it's also lethargy and just and maybe apathy. People just don't care enough to actually go that extra mile and fight for what they believe in. So I think that is one thing that is stopping new marketing programs, and a challenge for those of us who are really passionate about the space is we're battling against decades of marketers and marketing practices and people who simply don't really care about this paradigm shift, and it's just a job to them. So I could say letting go, and that would be the obvious one, and it's certainly true, but I would say also it's the legacy and the fact that people who have been in marketing for a long time certainly they just don't understand the shift that has taken place.
It's funny that you say that, and this is totally your interview, but just a funny story. So last Friday, I got a call from a guy who runs his own printing company, and what was kind of interesting is he said, look, I'm going to cancel my pass to NMS, I'm not going to go. And I said, geez, so why? Is there something? I said, I just read through it, and nothing applies to really what I'm doing. And I said, what do you mean nothing applies? And he said, well, I'm just, this whole social media thing, I'm just not into it. I don't get the whole new market. I don't Twitter, I don't do Facebook or anything. And I said, well, do you ever think that maybe some of the people, because you sell to marketers, maybe they do and you might want to be caught up on it. So I absolutely hear that. I totally get that it's partly letting go, it's partly saying, you know what, I've been doing it this way, it seems to be working, I really don't want to change it.
Right. And I think therein, in your example, lies the problem and lies the reason why it's kind of hard to define new marketing, because it's not really that new, and it's not something that only applies to one group of people either. It's everyone's. If David Meerman Scott could get up and show us an ad for a B2B toilet manufacturer, that really goes to show that it is everyone. And for someone to say that doesn't apply to me, well, the problem is not that it doesn't apply to his consumers, it's just that he doesn't realize it and he doesn't get it. And I think that it's actually the infrastructure that is a lot of what the challenge is preaching or teaching older generations of marketers and getting them to understand and actually put dollars behind
Absolutely.
Because no one ever got fired for spending $2 million on a TV ad that didn't work, but they might if they spent $500,000 on a social media initiative or commitment.
So what advice would you give to people that are embarking on new marketing strategies, or even better, what about those people that are feeling they don't want to get involved in it, they don't know what's going on, there's a little they're a little apprehensive about taking the plunge into it? What advice would you give them?
Right. Well, I would say that you have to be active in the space. You absolutely have to be. I'm not going to say everyone has to be a blogger, but I always recommend that people start a blog, and that's
Sure.
not even close to new anymore. Now we're up to Twitter and beyond, but I would say get involved and make it your business to get involved, because if you're in marketing, it is your business. You really have
Absolutely.
no choice. So for those who are uncertain, get involved, and if you feel like you're not getting out of it, stay with it, stay committed to it, and you will begin to see patterns and trends and why people have gravitated towards this. So for those uncertain, just jump right in, and I would say start a blog, get a Twitter account, start uploading all your photos to Flickr, and just see what happens.
That's really good advice. I think that's great advice. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking some time out again today for us.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it.